boomers buying crypto be like? You guys like this video, guys? We're talking about the aging population, guys, and how boomers aren't going to adopt crypto. It's just simply not going to happen. And guys, if you're not subscribed to this channel, check us out here. We're trying to crank out as much content for you on a regular basis. That way you can try to give me feedback, guys, because I'm always curious about what people think about some of these topics. So guys, you've all heard on the news. I don't want to reiterate what you've already heard. You've heard of Japan selling more diapers to elderly people than infants, right? You've all heard these things. We've all heard about it. Elon Musk has talked about it. Everybody has heard about it at this point, and nobody is unaware of the aging population. You can call it a crisis. You can call it, just natural selection. You guys can call it whatever you want. But basically, guys, we have a bunch of people that are entering the ability to not take care of themselves, all right? So a lot of these people are financially unprepared. They have no concept of how much it costs to take care of themselves, and they're not going to be able to come up with this type of money. It's simply not going to be possible for this large group of people to accumulate enough wealth to self-sustain into their golden years, guys. It's not possible. It's just bad planning, a host of bad decisions. There is a large group of these people, guys, and it will be a common thing when we go out in public and we're at the grocery store and we see, an old person just basically die in front of you. That's going to be something that is going to be a lot more common, because this group of people that isn't able to take care of themselves or pay someone to take care of them, they're going to go out and try to gather food and get natural resources, gas, whatever they need. And you're going to see old people fall. You're going to see old people basically die right in front of you. This is going to be an ongoing thing where it's going to become actually common to see, because you have a large group of people that is hitting certain ages, and that's just what it's going to be, guys. I mean, just be prepared to see this. But on the flip side, guys, the same group of people isn't interested in learning anything new. They don't want to learn about crypto. They are not interested in change. They don't want to change anything. It's not all older people. Some older people are able to, realize that their brain cells are basically degenerating, and that they need to be able to keep up with the times. And that's happening to me right now, guys. I mean, if you guys are under the age of like 21, I think if you're a male, you're basically, your ability to learn gets less and less as time progresses. So you might be able to tweak that a little bit. You might be able to, learn new stuff, obviously, but at some point you become set in your ways, and we're all going to end up old and stupid. I mean, I know that sounds a little bit hard to take in, guys, but this is the reality. We all are going to end up old. We are all going to end up basically losing our mind, just in different time scales towards the end parts of our lives, guys. That's just the natural biological cycle of life. So nobody's excused from this. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how invested you are. There is no escaping death. It's simply not possible. I don't think it will be possible in our lifetime either. So this being the case, and how it affects cryptocurrency, guys, is a double-edged sword. You have a large group of people that is not financially prepared, and they do not want to learn about crypto. The newer generation, the newer people coming up, I would say the age group between 18 and 28, 29 even, this group of people is very interested in crypto, and it's a growing interest. Old people, not so much. They're just not interested in it. But what they are interested in, and what a lot of them think they have, is real estate, guys. A lot of these old people think that their equity in their real estate investments is worth something. And I can tell you, guys, the newer generation is not going to spend all their money so Grandpa John can go sink his feet down in Florida and retire by selling his overpriced, expensive real estate property. There is not enough demand for the younger generation to replace the incoming supply of old people that are going to try to downsize to keep their lifestyle that they're not going to be able to afford, guys. This isn't everybody. I want to be clear. There's obviously, you know, a lot of people that don't fall into this category, but we're talking about the majority, guys. The majority of old people are not interested in crypto. It is a fact. It is a logical certainty that they're not interested in learning about it, much less investing their money into it. So if you have a large group of people that thinks the same, they all think they own their house, that their house is worth all this money, I can tell you, I'm not going to fucking buy it. And I can buy a house for cash in a large part of the United States, guys. You get a house relatively cheap, you know, in a lot of the United States still. And I wouldn't pay these high prices for a home. It's just not it's not a good investment. I find that there are better investments like crypto in the current economy and ongoingly that are better than some of these boomers' idea of wealth. Their idea of wealth and my idea of wealth are two totally different things, guys. But we both have something in common, and that's what we both want: a certain lifestyle. So whatever we invest in is going to unlock that lifestyle at a future date. And a lot of these old people, they're just severely confused on where their wealth is and how much wealth they think they have. And this is a compounding problem, guys, because I think a large group of people, old people above the age of 70, I think they're going to all try to sell their homes. And at the same time, nobody's going to buy them. There's not enough younger people out there to fill the void for what these people want price tag for their home. Because the younger generation is more interested in these new age things like crypto. I would put crypto at the top of the list for an investment for somebody between the age of 18 and 25. You know, the next step up, maybe 29 to, 30 or 40, 29, 30 to 40, maybe a little bit less. Those people are going to like more stuff like traditional stuff like stocks, equities, mutual funds, these type things. Of course, there are people that are in crypto of every age. It's not discriminatory. We're just giving you a fact about the ongoing economy that's changing literally every single day, guys. And a lot of people, guys, are just fixated on doing what they're told to do. They're told that everybody's out buying houses. They all go run out and buy a house. They tell everybody to stay in place and lock down because of COVID. These people do just that. These people are not rule breakers. They are not interested in breaking the rules or even testing the rules. They will do as they're told, period. Whether they have to pay for something with dollars or crypto, they don't give a fuck. And I mean, that is a little rude sounding, but they just simply do not care. So I think this is going to play into a major fucking price pump, probably compounding ongoingly year by year as we see the shift from old type wealth into this new age technology, guys. And the younger crowd is interested in this new age technology. The older crowd is simply not. And they think that their investments that they've been holding on to for the last 30, 40 years, they think in their head that these perceived values are going to come to existence at some point. And I think, guys, they're going to find out that they're not. They're simply not, because we can look at different parts of the United States and already see this, guys. We can see aging populations that these homes have not switched hands in 10 to 20 years. I mean, look at Jackson, Mississippi, guys. You can get a fucking house down there for 20, 30 grand. It's because there's no infrastructure. The infrastructure's falling apart because nobody's buying these new houses to pay the current tax rate, property tax, to keep the infrastructure going. And you're going to see a lot of this. You're going to see major cities not be able to fulfill their obligations to provide infrastructure for their citizens, guys, because there is nobody to replace these old values of property taxes. Your property taxes in most places can only go up a certain amount a year based on purchase price. So if you have a family that bought the house 30, 40 years ago, they've avoided all the inflation at this point, and it's only inflation adjusted up to a small percentage, like 2% in most cases. So you have a world that now costs extremely more than it did just a couple years ago, but you don't have the property taxes catching up with the repair cost it costs someone to upgrade the infrastructure. And you have also, like I said, a large group of this demographic. It's not just like a small group of crypto people, you know, like it is now relative to the overall population. So I think this is a ticking time bomb, guys. I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube about these different ideas, but this is my own personal idea. This isn't based on any specific thing I've heard. This is something I've actually thought about for a long time, is how do all these old people think they're just going to sell their houses and retire and have a happy life? It's just, they'll be able to sell it, but they're just not going to get, there's going to be a switch in wealth, guys, and how perceived wealth is conceptualized in human beings' head. People like me, people like you, people like your parents, they're not going to line up, and the difference in between this generational gap of wealth is going to flow into cryptocurrency, guys, because the newer age generation is going to be the ones that make the most amount of money. The older generation is going to make less amount of money. Okay, so their assets are going to have to be liquidated, whether it's to pay hospital bills, to fucking retire, to put food on the table, whatever it is. There's going to be a shift in this wealth factor into cryptocurrency, guys, because the younger generation is more interested in crypto. So guys, drop it in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this, this topic or whatnot. And I'm curious to get your feedback. All right, we'll catch you later. Take care.